Marriage law reforms. Major portion of the statutory personal laws enacted in the various Muslim countries represent a mere codification of the established law or at best unification of hitherto divergent legal principles. There is, however, no reason to deny the fact that certain provisions in these laws have introduced significant reforms in the traditional law. The principal reforms so introduced in one country or another relate to a. Marriage age for men and women and difference of age between parties to marriage. B. Rule of marriage guardian in the fixation and solemnization of marriage. C. Registration and documentation of marriage. D. Monetary aspect of marriage dowry and expenses. E. Polygamy and right of co-wives. F. Maintenance of wife, family, and matrimonial home during the subsistence of marriage. G. Unilateral divorce right of parties to marriage and grounds for judicial divorce. H. Post-divorce reliefs for the parties, especially for women. I. Period of gestation and its implications. J. Parents' right relating to custody and guardianship of children, especially of mothers. K. Inheritance right of certain close relatives, surviving spouse, daughters, brothers, sisters, grandfather, and descendant of deceased children. L. Choice of the legatee, especially theirs eligibility to receive a bequest and validity, tenure, and management of family works. Reforms in these areas have been effective. Different reforms in different countries, either under the provisions of comprehensive codes or laws of personal status or family rights, or by way of sporadic legislation. The source material for all the aforementioned reforms have been located by the jurists and the legislators of the Muslim world in the depth. They difference flexibility and richness of the legal principle within the vast framework of the Sharia. It is nobody's case in the Muslim states, including Turkey, that personal law has been codified and reformed merely to modernize or westernize the law, nor have their architect, advocate, and exponent ever quoted any holy and Islamic source for any of these reforms. The motives behind and the object of all this legislative activity have been, as taught by the reforms, the need to systematize personal law on the pattern of other laws since codified, the desire to benefit from lesser known and hitherto neglected principle and juristic opinions within the fold of the Sharia. The will to check misinterpretation, misapplication, and growing misuse of the Sharia law, of which there were greater chance and possibility in its uncodified state. The policy of nationalizing and truly Islamizing the law, and the urge to rebuild the society in conformity with the original unadulterated social legal principle of Islam. In several countries, the ulama have approved or have been closely associated with the reforms effected at the same time. Some of the reforms in some countries have been opposed and criticized by certain sections of religious leaders and scholars. This has happened in Iraq, Indonesia, Pakistan, Tunisia, South Yemen, and Turkey. On some occasions, their objections were accepted and the reforms proposed are already affected, dropped, repealed, or modified. Mansour Tahir Mahmud, 1987, Personal Law in Islamic Countries, History, Text and Comparative Analysis, Academy of Law and Religion, New Delhi, paper 11 to 13. Thank you.